Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Hey, I don't know how many of you like to try to make money using your crafting supplies that you have. Well, I'm going to show you a way that you might be able to make some money this Valentine's Day if you have either a sublimation printer or you're able to have it printed somewhere so that you can sublimate it on mugs, and you have some mugs. The mugs that I have here I get from Heat Press Nation because they have free shipping there. And this is the 11-ounce mug size. I've also just ordered the larger ones, so I'm waiting for those to come in. But what I want to show you how to do is this right here. And why do I think you can make money? Because it's so easy to customize this. I go to a little pub nearby, and I put some of my items in there. And believe it or not, I didn't really think I would, but I sold a lot of my mugs and a lot of my coaster sets. Well, I think if I put this in here, along with this information I'm going to teach you how to do into the little local pub where I go, I think I could probably sell some of these for Valentine's Day too, personalized. So follow me to my desk and let's get started. Okay, like I said, I'm super thrilled with how this turned out. And if you don't mind, for just a moment, I'm going to chat about some of these things I have on my tabletop. This right here is something I'm going to use at the place where I'm going to put a mug as a sample. And this is a sample sheet that people can fill out if they'd like to purchase a mug from me. So what they'll need to do is put their names, their phone number, and email address. And then they're going to tell me the male motorcycle number they want to use and the female motorcycle number. And then the male hairstyle name and number and the female hairstyle name and number. And then the male name that they want put on the mug for personalization and the female mug. And I show the sample here. Here's where the names go. Instead of me and you, it'll be the name they put up there and the other name. Here's one with the motorcycles that were chosen, and I simply wrote sample across this. What I plan to do is to just punch a hole in this and keep all of these sheets together, and then have some blank sheets that they can fill out to give to me with their payment for the mug. They'll have to pay in advance for it. Okay? So let me show you what the motorcycle numbers are. Here's a set. This shows the different motorcycle options that they have. Obviously, I put these up here in pink, this style, because that's the girl. And then the next one that goes right along with this style, these two go together. This is the male. And then the female part of this style and the male part. So if they chose to do like I did, the blue and the blue, they would put in biker couples, like I hit done right here. For the male biker couples, it was 0025. It was the one in blue, 0025. And for the female, it was biker couples, 0032. Now, sometimes it's not important to have the name, but sometimes it is. So I just said, have the name and the number every time. Okay, then they can look at the hairstyles. First, I asked them to pick the male hairstyle, put in the name and then the number. And here's where it is important, because some of these just say male hairstyle and some of them are called biker couples. And there may be the same number in these, but if you put down the name first, like there's a 24 here and there's a 24 here. This one is male hairstyle 24, and this one is biker couple 0024. Not 00242. So I need to have the name on here. So they'll pick which head style or hairstyle they want to use. And yeah, there's a bald guy right here. And also then they'll go to the female one and do the same thing and pick out the female one. And then for their personalization, the name, they'll just put this on here. I just suggest it's just a one name, a first name, or whatever pet name they may have for each other that they could put there. So then once they do this, on my sheet, I'm going to have them have an instruction to hand this to the people that I know that run the pub, along with their paid in full amount, and they will give it to me, and then I will get their mug back to the little pub and they can get it there. So let's go now, and I'm going to show you where I got the images to use for these and how I designed this. Okay, for Creative Fabrica, since I have the subscription there, I just downloaded a bunch of them. The one you'll certainly want to use is the biker clip art one, and I'll have a link for that down below for you that you can use. And I appreciate it when you use my links because I get a little teeny weeny commission that helps me to be able to buy these things and do them for you. But anyway, this has some hair. You might just want to use this one, and that's all you need, right? And especially if you know people that ride motorcycles and that's all you're doing with it. Okay, so you can just get this one if you want to, but like I said, I got some other ones. I got the hairstyles, another hairstyle one, and another hairstyle one, and then the couples clip art. But I'll put links to all these down below and you can check them out yourself. The other thing, as I said, that I'm using the SUBLICraft 15-ounce white ceramic mugs from Heat Press Nation. Again, I'll have the link for that down below. The reason why I like to use Heat Press Nation in particular is because there is no charge for shipping if you get a case of these. And that's what I liked, because I was at first going to buy them from Johnson Plastic Plus, which I really like, but I think that my shipping was going to be $35 to purchase it from there, and the whole little case of 12 mugs was only $33, I think it was. So all right, now we're back up a silhouette, and I want to show you what I have here. First, I just found a mug so I could use one for a sample so that I could put a picture up so they could see it. The next thing that I did was I just went ahead and said File and Merge, and I brought in the motorcycles. So let's say I'm going to do a different one this time. I'll do the one kind of in the red color. Okay, the brown, and that's the woman. Okay, so let me get the guy. So I'll go to File and Merge. And this must be him here. Okay, and there he is. Obviously, they come in with no heads, so I need to get a head for them as well. So let's pretend like our people chose certain ones. So I would say File and Merge. And we'll make this one a fella. Let's see, have this, and that comes in huge, so I can make it a lot smaller. If I want to, I would just click on it and come up here with the lock and maybe make it about 2 inches, just because I don't really know. Okay, that's going to be way too small, but we get the idea. Then I'll get the girl, so I'll go to File and Merge and get her little head, and I think I'll make her have a long ponytail like that. And again, I can make that smaller, so I'll make that about 2 inches, 3 inches. Okay, and there it is. So obviously that one's way too small too. So now let's get rid of some of this other junk that we no longer need. I'll keep this one mug here. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I think I will make this smaller by clicking on the body with the lock. I'll make it about 7 inches to start with. I'm going to have to make it smaller than that to make it fit on my mug. I don't really know where it went, but as you know, if I just click on this right here, it's going to center it to my page, and there it is perfectly. And now his head's a little too big, but that's okay. We're going to fix that. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab the woman's on the motorcycle, lock the lock, and change that to about a 6, because 5, we know what happened there. We know that the guy was way too big still, so we'll do that. And I can pull her up here and just come on over here and see where, there's her hair. Okay, and her hair is a little big yet too. So since I made this body, let's see, I made it 5 inches. I'm going to make this one also 5 inches by just clicking right here and say 5. Whoops, don't know why that did that. So I'm not sure why that's turning that black. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and use this. Okay, there's something odd. Look at that. I don't know why that's happening. But we'll leave it that size. So it's 2.879, and let's see if I can change this one to be about the same size. Yeah, they're close. So what I'm doing is kind of looking at the tires and making the tires about the same size. Okay. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll right into these. Bring the heads over. Scroll in using this little tool that looks like a bug to me. And then I can kind of look at her head and just kind of change the size of it so that I think it's proportional to what I think it would look like. Okay, that still looks a little tiny bit big to me, so I can make it smaller. And let's see, does that look good? That looks pretty good to me. Let's check this one out and make it smaller. The guy sometimes is a little bit easier because you can see his neckline's going to fit right in there. So let's see. Here we go. So I'm going to make it a little smaller. Like that maybe. Okay, that's way too small. So I'm going to make it larger. And right here now, I'm going to go to bring this right here and say send it to the back so I can get an idea, a better idea. And it might still be a little bit too small, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. So this is just a matter of trial and error till you see what you like. Let's see if that looks pretty good. Okay, to me, that looks pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with that, really. So what I think I'll do now is I'll group her, and I will group him. But you know what I did, you guys? I got the wrong mail. Look at, he was supposed to have his hand held out too. So let me take that and move that off, and let's go to File and Merge. And that's why it didn't quite match. I wanted to get the brown mail. There it is, I think. Looks like the brown one. Yeah, that kind of matches, I think. And now we'll change this to about 3 inches. Lock the lock. Maybe make it 3 just to see what happens. Don't know where it is. Hit this little button. It'll bring it right up to the middle of my mat. Here we go. So now, all right, so now let's see if his head's going to fit. Let's ungroup this, and I'll just go ahead and hold down my Alt key and drop, whoopsie, unselect, hold down my Alt key and just get the head. Now that head looks a little bit tiny in there, doesn't it? So let's make it a little bit bigger, like that. Okay, they look pretty good to me. Actually, I think I'm pretty happy with how that looks. She's a tiny little thing. All right, so I'll just go ahead and group both of these together like this. And I'll scroll out a little bit and move these down this way. And scroll out a little bit more. Now I'm going to delete these because I don't really need those. And maybe keep this one here so I can see what I did, and I can delete these, some of this other junk that's over here that I don't really need. All right, so let's grit this in here. Okay, right now they're a little bit too big, as you can see, because I made this the size I need it to be, and I measured the mug that I had before, the 11-ounce one. And as I said, this one's larger than an 11 ounce that I'm going to be getting, but we'll just use this for now. So what I'd have to do first with these is just kind of push them in a little bit, maybe not quite that much, to get them to fit on here. Okay, I'm just popping in here to give you a little tip. What I do is I print it out using a draft quality so it doesn't use a lot of my ink, and then I actually cut around it and put it on my mug and see does that fit the way I wanted it to. And I wasn't really satisfied with this one. I thought it was too big, and so I had the dimensions written on the back of this one. So I tried the next one, and I made this one 3 1/4 inches tall, 3.25, and I really liked how that worked, so I was satisfied then. So before I messed up a mug, all I did was cut out on a piece of paper or cardstock a draft of what it was going to look like, and I put it up against my mug to see, was I going to like the way this was going to look. on the mug, and I was very happy with it. About like that, I like it. And let's scroll in. Bring this one over first. And scroll in. All right, so as you can see, what I did now on this was I just drew a heart. Okay, so I came over here to the heart, and I just came up here and just drew a heart. And then obviously I need to fix it so my heart's going to fit on my mug nicely. So what I would do right now is I would right click on the motorcyclist and say bring to front so I can see how they're going to look. And I think that looks super good, just like that. So now I can change my heart color if I want to. And what I did on mine was I just got an orangey reddy color from her tail light. So I came up here, grabbed the eyedropper, and then just came over here until I saw a color I kind of liked, like that. Okay. And then the next thing I did was I decided to make it say riding through life together forever. So I'm going to come over here to the text tool and type out all in caps. Oops. I think I'll make this a lot smaller. And I'm going to type in capital letter lock, riding through life. And that's all I'm going to do there for it to begin with. Click off of it, click back on. I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to bring it up here and see, do I think that's going to be a nice fit on there? And maybe just a tiny bit smaller. Okay, it's still editable text, and I know that because I can double click on it and I get this blue bar here, the green box around it, and most importantly this four-headed arrow. That I will bring over here to the heart and just drag it like this, riding through life. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. The only other thing I did on mine was I changed its color up here to black. Whoops. Before I change its color though, you know that little sliding thing right here to me that looks like a zipper? You can slide that out so it comes away a little bit from your heart so it's not laying right on top of it. And I kind of like the way that looked. So I could do it like that. And now I can click off and click back on. And so now that I'm noticing, I think I might want it to be a little bit smaller. So let's drag it back off here for a sec. Click off and then make it just a little bit smaller. The reason why I was coming way down into the point of the heart and I was afraid my letters might overlap. So try that again. Riding through life. There we go. Use the little zipper again. Oh, it's already off. Riding through life. And now I can click off and click back on. You can come up here and change its color. Riding through life. And then with the caps on together. Oops, I got to get the text tool first. I'm going to change it to something smaller again. Together forever. And again, I'll click back off and click on so that I can make it smaller. So I'm going to click on this, come over here to this eyedropper and click on this one. And then that made it the exact same size and the same color. Okay. All right, so now we can double click on this and bring this up here to this other side of the heart, like that. And then again, use the zipper if I want to move it out a little bit. Riding through life together forever. I think I'll make my heart just a little bit smaller. And there we go, that's better. And then this can go over like that a little bit. And maybe move in just a tiny little bit. Oh. Okay, there we go. I like it. Okay, so the other thing that I would do is this word and right here. That's from, let me show you. I'm going to type in letter X, any letter, and then come up, click on it, and then click off, and then click back on. Come over here, and this is Samantha Craft. This is not a free font, but I'm sure you can find stuff like this with other fonts. I just happen to know there's one in Creative or in Samantha Craft. So with Samantha Craft selected, I'm able to get to the glyphs really easily. And I know this word "and" is down here near the bottom. So I'm going to scroll way down here, and I'm going to make the stuff bigger so it's easier to see. I did that right here. I'm just going to scroll way down. Okay, here we go. See some of these special words that are in here. I don't think I passed "and" yet. Mr. and Mrs., notes, Monday. All right, there's "and." So I'm going to double click on that, and it puts it right up here. Don't need this anymore. So let's say that the names are, let's go ahead and convert that to a path. And I'll bring it right down here. Let's see, what name shall we use? I'm going to name the boy Jerome. Jerome. And I'll just name her LaToya. And obviously these would have been the names that they put on their sheet for me, so I knew what to make them, right? So I'd make them really tiny. And you know, if they wanted to, if you know the date that they got married or became a couple, I could put that on here too. But that's all there is to it. Now what I would do is go ahead and select this, hold down my shift key and select these other ones. Not those. And I could come up here and align them to the bottom so they're aligned perfectly. And I could change their color to black. The other thing I would need to do is to go ahead and take this, because right now I can't take this off, notice, if I wanted to. So what I can do is I can click on this, right click and say convert to path. Okay, right click on this one, convert to path. So now what I can do is I can start grouping some of these things together. So what I'd probably want to do is group these two together if I haven't already, and I did. And I can group all of this together, because this is going to be the same. If I'm going to make a whole bunch of these mugs, it will be the same. Okay, so I can group this together. And then these will change, so I won't group those together. That's the part I'll customize that. And depending on which of these motorcycles that they like. And obviously I need to go ahead and right click and say bring this to the front. So that's how easy it is to design this really cute customizable mug that I think might be a nice one for you to try to sell for Valentine's Day. And if you're not into selling, hey, make one for your favorite guy or favorite couple. So let's go on now and I'll show you what I did on my heat press. Okay, so I needed to jump in here right quick and say, you know what, if you're not doing sublimation, you can still use these things. Maybe you want to do it on the printable vinyl that you can put on a shirt. Maybe for a bridal party, people are getting married, and you can have this for the bride and the groom. Another thing you can do is print then cut on a card. Another thing you can do is like ungroup everything, click on the heart, just come up here to this paint palette, and instead of it being a solid orange, if you want to do a print then cut, why not make it this color or this or whatever you find in here that you kind of like, right? I mean, and you know that you can do advanced options and do all kinds of things down here as well. I don't know if there'd be any patterns in here that would be cute. Probably not. But, you could check that out too to see if there was something in here that you may have liked. And again, you can come to advanced options. You can change the transparency. You can change the scale to make it a lot cloudier or less cloudy. There's just tons of stuff that you can do. in addition to what I've just shown you here. And especially, like I said, if you do not have, you know, a sublimation machine, you don't have to be able to use these. And guess what, y'all? You don't even have to have a machine. You can just do all of this designing and print it right from here onto your printable vinyl. You don't even have to have a cutter. You'll just have to take your scissors and cut around here, you know, if you don't have a cutter that's going to cut. But I just think it's a really cool thing to do. And again, if you wanted to, what you could do, one last thing is I will grab all this and group it. And maybe you wanted to make some fancy things for tables, right? So you could click on this and say offset, offset. You could make it have a really big offset if you wanted to, so that it would pretty much be closed up. Let's see, like that I could do it. And I'll just change the offset to purple right now just so that you can see it easily. There's the offset. Now I wouldn't make it that color, obviously, but then I could just grab this off, click on this, say object, release the compound path. That puts little boxes around everything. Then I could weld it, and then I could put it right back on here and do this as a cut, as a print and cut, either with my machine if I do have it, or without my machine, but with my scissors if I have to. And again, I would probably just go ahead and change this back to white. Whoops, not all of that. Undo that and just change this part to white. I'll make it a little bit gray so you can see it, and there's where you'd have it. So that could be a really cute cake topper or a decoration for on a wall or anything like that. So okay, let's go on now and see what's happening with my machine, my heat press. Okay, I have my heat press set at 380 degrees for 190 seconds. Now I'm going to put it in here. Hopefully not get in your way. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody. I hope this gives you an idea on how you might be able to make some money this Valentine's Day by making some things that you are able to personalize for people. So again, thanks for joining me. Check out my links down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like my videos, and please, please, please subscribe and hit the bell. Thanks. Bye, y'all.